I'm Brian Reinhardt. I'm with the Sedona International Film Festival. So I'm a documentary filmmaker as well as the panelist, and I was also a documentary film educator for 14 years.
My name is Arthur Rasco. I'm from North Carolina. Our film is called Facing Darkness. It's an Ebola story.
My name is Ben Fama Jr. I have a documentary here called Reasons to Believe. I'm also a local filmmaker here. I live here actually in Sedona.
I'm Michael Melski. I'm a Canadian filmmaker here from Canada. Our film is called Perfume War.
I'm Jo Ruxton. I'm over from the UK. I've been making a documentary for the past 8 years. It's just been released. It's called A Plastic Ocean.
Do you think about the distribution in first and then work backwards, or do you think I just have to do the story and I'll figure out how the money happens? I mean, how would you ideally like to have it happen?
I'd like to be asked to do it and given the money and not have to think about
So
all of
ask
that.
me to do it.
Yes.
This is a project, we want you to do it, we like your skills.
Based on how the other one went.
Yes.
In Canada, everything is triggered by getting a broadcaster on board. And Perfume War's had a nice reception in Canada so far. We've won 2 awards already, and we have CBC Sale. That's our big public broadcaster up there, your PBS.
I think for me the ideal situation is to have enough funds to have a really good tight-knit crew that you can delegate tasks to. I mean, some of the best projects out there, not just in filmmaking, but in business even, are just really good teams, right? Like really good management teams. So having a really good editor, really good cinematographer. I mean, I have a small team, but just really tight-knit people that you can kind of concentrate a little bit more.
We were a little bit up against a timeline, and so if I could ask for any ideal scenario, it would be an ideal schedule. The scope of the project kept on growing and growing and growing, and we were, our executive producer was asking for, a very arduous deadline, and that was like, we started filming in May, and he was, looking for a cut at, around September.
So where is it that documentaries, filmmakers, where do they go as far as telling the whole truth? You're seeing so many films now that you'll have a film say one thing and then another film comes out that says the exact opposite. They're supposed to both be documentaries.
I go for fact. I really do. I find it very difficult to twist fact. Maybe it's just the way I was brought up.
But it's a little different over here.
There's a lot to be said. And so one of the fascinating things is that the stories aren't ever over. And that makes it difficult. When do you stop, fade to black, and roll credits?
I had two students who got hired by this Native American guy who was in prison for 20-something years. He said he was wrongly accused, and he hired them to do a film on his life. Now, I mean, you can see a flag right there. He's funding it. $200,000, bought them all this equipment, housed them up in San Francisco area. So anyway, halfway through the film, actually 3/4 of the way through the film, I happened to be in San Francisco and met up with them, said, hey, how's the film going? They said, we're starting to think he did it. How do you find a different audience that you haven't reached?
Well, again, this isn't the norm. I'm actually running the education program, so I'm going out to schools and talking to teachers and talking to exam boards and that kind of thing to get people interested. And there's something about this particular subject that resonates.
These things can last a long time. So I encourage people to question what we do. Absolutely.